As Ronnie Van Zant spins in his grave.
Yeah, I don't know where to go from there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Early Watch. It is Friday, March 9th, 2018. I am Jimmy, and with us, as always, Mr. Tony York.
I ain't really here, so...
He's an illusion. And, of course, we got Night Strike here running the show for us. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like the old days when you actually let me in at the beginning of the show instead of, an hour or two after the show.
Yeah, well, it was also in the beginning when you were consistently showing up in the beginning of the show. I mean, we could argue about that for days.
Well, if you invited me at the beginning of the show, I would show up at the beginning of the show. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, if you showed up at the beginning of the show, you've been invited at the beginning of the show. That's all.
We don't keep the people who host for us out.
Yeah, they leave.
I didn't leave. I took a leave of absence. That's all.
Hey, well,
I'm gonna go post this over on Gun Channel. So continue, Jimmy.
Oh, you can't? All right, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Forgot what I was gonna go for here today. But we do have somewhat of a show for you. We got some updates. We got some. Oh yeah, if you guys can't tell, this is the Early Watch Nation email now. So I'm going to be working on Twitter and Instagram on that and pretty much just have it be a repost.
I wish you'd get out of the parking garage you're in.
Dude, I know. It's the new place. It's literally empty. Hold on, let me walk into a smaller room. How about this? A little better?
Oh, yes.
Much better.
All right. Yeah, the acoustics in the living room right now are a little bad, so I'm sorry. Sorry about that. But yeah, we do got a little bit of a show for you, some updates, that type of shit.
We're posted on Gun Channels now, so we're good.
Hello, Gun Channels. I saw a cool. Oh shoot, Tom.
I was gonna say I've certainly been enjoying my time off. I've been sitting around here loading ammo. That's about it.
Yeah, I have not enjoyed 1 second of not being off. It's been moving back and forth, but we are pretty much moved in now, so that's good.
Well, no more in-laws bullshit to deal with, eh?
Yay. Yes, that is the case. So we do have a little bit of show. Let's see here. I saw a post on Instagram. It was something along the lines of, can we bring back guys opening doors for broads and, putting their jackets over puddles and that chivalrous shit. Yeah, chivalrous shit.
Well, it's not chivalry. There's still some semblance of that in the South as, part of the whole Southern gentleman thing. But, I'm not going to most people are not going to put their coats down on the ground. No.
I exaggerated that one a bit.
Absolutely
but,
not. That was purely just, fiction.
Yeah.
The bitch wants to drop her panties in a mud puddle, and I'll be chivalrous. I promise.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, man. Respecting women nowadays is like, in order to respect a woman properly, you got to let them do their own thing, open their own door.
Well, no. It's see, the problem is, Jimmy, and I'm not being mean to you or Tony because you guys are from that area, and I guess maybe you've lost some semblance of common courtesy. But it is not only is it a gentlemanly, but it's also courtesy to hold the door open for somebody to help them with their seat. That's it's common courtesy. It's also being a gentleman and whatnot. You kind of lost it up north because everybody hates each other up north. So
right. What it is for me is whenever if there's a woman walking right behind me and I'm going into the store, I like to open the door and then go in as quick as I can and close it all the way so that they have that full door opening experience. I don't want to steal that joy from them.
Right.
I'll hold the door for anybody. It's just fucking being polite.
Yeah, polite. You call it polite. You call it common courtesy. You call it being a gentleman. Whatever you want to call it's fine. But I always, if it's a lady, I always hold the door open. If it's a guy, more often than not, I'll hold the door open for him too. So
Yeah, and this isn't the 1950s no more. Women don't need roses, and they're not a quarter.
No, but common courtesy, being a gentleman, that does get you places. Just saying.
I kind of got lucky on that one because my old lady suffers from allergies and she hates flowers.
Yeah, see, totally disrespectful if you get a woman roses and they're allergic. I mean, like, that's disrespectful. So yeah, that's our PSA for today. Respect women.
I never close a door on a person. I always hold the door open for someone because I'm not an ass like that.
I like to slam it.
You can tell I've been away from the place a while because when you said respecting women in the pre-show, I thought you was being serious.
Jimmy, I swear, if I get flagged, I'm blaming you.
No, you won't. I don't think that anyone can get flagged anymore, right? Because we got no one.
Oh no, we can still get flagged.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I won't say fuck YouTube or anything crazy like that on this. Speaking of how horrible YouTube is, let's nah.
This feels like the old days. Just like the old days.
In all seriousness, though, feminism has ruined everything. So yeah, that's it.
Well, I don't know what the fuck they think they're gaining here.
Nothing. Attention.
I don't know what fucking rights they don't have. If they were so unevenly paid like they claim, then why the hell would companies hire guys when they could hire women cheaper?
Well, I giggle and laugh when I see them saying how they want equality for everybody, and then some feminists include the transgender people and some don't. But I just think I get a hoot every time that I see like a transgender dude, like, dressing up like a woman playing in Olympic games and weightlifting contests and sprinting and win, like beat the women by miles. And somehow that's, women's rights. They're like men in the patriarchy control everything, right? And that's bad. But now they're even letting men come into becoming a woman and control that. It's just seems like an oxymoron. Or maybe just a moron.
I was going to say, you hit the moron part right.
I'm thinking just the moron. Wow. So yeah. It's the world we live in, man. And that's the thing too. And that, that a lot of people say when we talk about political shit like that, it doesn't have nothing to do with guns. And I disagree. I feel like it has all to do with guns because, some of these feminists probably all the feminists are the ones that are against it, unless they're militant feminists. Maybe I don't know if those exist. But there we go.
It's all about trampling rights.
Yeah, and giving them to the government. I'm gonna make a meme today about that. Just handing over your rights to the government.
These fucking stupid kids. Oh, that reminds me. We had a couple of these walkout protests here in the area.
Oh, the school?
Yeah, a college. And they were hoping for 200 to 500 and they got 9.
Ooh, snap. Well, that's a funny thing because I just read an article this morning about the fact that all these groups that are a bunch of kids that are doing gun control and whatnot, they're actually being funded by groups like Everytown, Moms Demand Action, Bloomberg, even Soros. They're all being funded by these kind of groups and people. They're not actually being funded or trying to fund themselves. And if they're just another arm of gun control. Or the anti-gunners, then yeah, they're not a real actual group. It's not a real group of students. It's it's people being paid off to do activism.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's what meets the agenda. I mean, even if you look at the media, you don't hear any of the pro-gun kids on the media. You know, I mean, it's just the same idea.
I saw one right after it happened, and they silenced him pretty quick.
The JROTC kid, right?
I don't know which it was.
Well, I know there was a kid, and he was in JROTC, and he had like 2 Kevlar fucking pads and shit. I think that maybe something weak, maybe level 2A or 3A, something like that. And actually like fucking was like holding them over people and shit. I don't know the whole extent of the story, but he was like, you know, half-assed hero type of thing, you know?
It's stupid. Don't do that at that time.
Well, no, that was very reckless, but I mean, you know, at the same time, I don't know. But he was on there saying,
we're responsible for our own actions. So if you do something like that, you know, don't be, just be prepared for the consequences.
Yeah, but he was the one of the motherfuckers that was on the news saying gun control is not going to help this high school kid that was there that survived it, you know?
Yeah, of course, it's not going to help.
He got one interview. That was it. Like, nope, not him.
Take him off the list.
Yep. He ain't going to our little powwow get together.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have known they was doing that walkout locally. I'd have drove up there and armed up pretty good and went out and stood with a cowboy outfit on with a bunch of 44s.
I'll protect your kids.
And then they could have pointed and look, Ma, a cowboy. How long has he been there? Has he been there since the 1890s?
All right. I got a question in before we do any news or any updates or anything. This is going to be brief. It's the one we already talked about, STRYKE. But this kid, I don't have the internet, obviously, so I'm not on the website Ask Gun Questions, so I'm not there. But this kid asked, he was about 19 or 20 years old. He didn't give the description of what the gun was or anything like that. No year, no model, no nothing. And said that his dad died and left and said he could have it, like it was a verbal agreement type of thing, but there's no actual trust or paperwork behind it. What should he do?
Depends on where the hell he's at.
No, Jimmy, you forgot to say what type of firearm it was.
Oh, it was full out. It was full auto rifle. That's the only thing that I know.
Keep your fucking trap shut.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I would think.
Keep your trap shut and just keep it until you can start a trust and put it in a trust.
I don't think you can.
Can you?
I don't think so.
No? All right. Well, yeah. Just keep your trap shut, I guess, at that point. Yeah.
Well, would it? Well, okay. So, yeah, I guess I could see what you're saying. But I was thinking it's next to kin, though.
It's a slippery slope, that one. So that might take a couple lawyers to get it into a trust.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell anybody. Maybe some lawyers and see what they say. Yeah, see, if you got a lawyer.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because I really don't know how to answer that one.
Keep your trap shut and don't do stupid shit.
Yeah.
Never know.
Keep your head down and you might be able to keep it.
I wouldn't go to the fucking indoor range with it and shit and start dumping mags.
No, I wouldn't either.
No,
I mean, you know.
I wouldn't let anybody know that I owned the damn thing.
Yeah, have it to remember Dad, you know. And maybe one day you can have it freely. But it doesn't look like it's going going that way anytime fucking soon. So bury that motherfucker. You ever seen John Wick? He put the concrete slab and shit. I would do one of those.
They did it. Bruce Willis did it in Reds too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Now, wherever you keep your gold, put that at.
And we all know Willis is tougher than Keanu.
So I guess now that we're done bullshit, we can get into some business here. Has there been that you guys know of any update on? Let's see here, the Florida Senate Bill 7026, the Marjorie Stoneman.
One of the Florida bills passed, by the way.
Yeah, and one of them passed. Yeah. So, but I'm wondering if that one did.
I have not been doing any research, so no, I don't know diddly fuck about it.
Yeah, me neither. So I know that this is what's in the bill, though. It's going to raise the age 18 to 21. Require 3-day waiting period for a firearm. Ban the sale of possession of bump fire stocks. Give law enforcement more authority to seize weapons and ammunition from those deemed mentally unfit or otherwise a threat. Provide additional funding for armed school resource officers and mental health services. And enact the Coach Aaron Feist Guardian program, which would allow some teachers to be armed if both the local school district and local sheriff's department agree. The last item was named after the coach who shielded students from bullets with his own body and died in the February 14th massacre.
Well,
let me see here.
Who gets to deem somebody dangerous? I mean,
yeah, that's the thing.
It would be up to the law enforcement, I would assume.
Well, it says there's several caveats to the program that would arm some teachers. Teachers who, quote, exclusively perform classroom duties as classroom teachers. So no, I guess the no subs, none of their aides or none of that shit, just the actual teacher. Unless they have military or law enforcement experience, if they teach a junior reserves officers training corps program. Then the program is voluntary. No one's going to be required to carry. And qualified staff members who want to carry a gun must take 144 hours of training, which is not much, but I mean that's a start. Now I'm wondering if Florida's going to pay for that.
Now, which bill are we talking?
7026. So
I read an interesting article on Reddit. Well, it's really just an image, but let me screen share this so you can see. This is for the people living in Florida. Can they see it? No, they can't see that. Let me put it over on Firefox. Yeah, see that right there?
Yeah, so that little itty bitty portion of Florida, right?
That little itty bitty portion of Florida right here that's gray is vacant. Only the light blues and the pinks are the ones that voted no. Everybody else voted yes. The GOP, yes, 57. So you got 57 rhinos in the GOP in Florida. 10 Democrats voted yes for it. It even shows you it goes into detail and shows you the actual districts in Florida that did this, who voted yes and who didn't. So if people that are angry, well, you know who to go after. Just saying. Not necessarily violently, but at least you know who to call.
Oh yeah.
You know, give them as much shit as you can.
Well, fucking late for that.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not late to give them shit for it, but it's too late for your guns, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I just figured this was relevant to the conversation, and it might be cool to share. So.
Well, now, was this because, like I said, I haven't really been doing my due diligence as of late, just a little bit here and there. And someone was telling me, I don't know if it was Florida, but what state is it that's talking about actually making under 21-year-olds turn in their rifles?
Probably
or snagging their rifles.
California, New York already.
Oh, shit. Okay. That sucks.
It's got to be one of those really restrictive states, probably.
Yeah, that really sucks, man, because, I mean, think of how many, you could be a 20-year-old single mother. I don't advocate all that anyway, but it happens, and she should have the right to defend herself, even an 18-year-old kid, boy or girl, it don't fucking matter. I mean, they move out of their parents' house because they've been living their life correctly, had a job, were able to move out and shit, and they can't defend themselves.
I'm going to stick with the same premise that I've stayed with all along, and that's if they're old enough to go into fucking service and kill people for the army, then they're old enough to have a gun at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't hear anybody changing anything else other than the gun thing. They're not going to change any other age shit. Just the gun shit.
If you're not mature enough to own a gun, then you're not mature enough to serve in the fucking army. You're not mature enough to vote. You're not mature enough to do any of the adult things.
Raise the voting age to 21. Raise the military joining age to 21. All that.
No, exactly. But I mean, check it out, though. Like, Tony makes an insane point right there, right? You can't be trusted with a fucking a 5.56. You can't be trusted with a 22 rifle. You can't be trusted with any kind of fucking rifle, right? Anything, any gun at all, period. But we'll trust you at fucking 16 with this fucking 2-ton monster killing machine and shit that, you know, could kill fucking whoever's on the sidewalk and shit if you decided to swerve up there one day. And we trust you with that. But we can't trust them with a little fucking 22 rifle, a little shotgun, a little 16 gauge, 20 gauge.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what these fucking kids are thinking backing this shit up. They're not thinking clearly.
I think it's a case. I think it's a case of kids standing for something but not knowing what they're standing for. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but they, you know,
I think
they're trying to be a part of some shit.
I really think some of these kids that weren't in Florida, in that district where it happened, most of the kids that are doing this stuff, I think they're being paid off, quite literally.
Oh yeah, that is true.
There's just no way, especially at this point. By now, they would have, you know, they would have gone on to thinking, you know, or looking at, you know, what's going on for prom, or what's going on for what in the news. What's Kanye doing? What's Kim doing? What they'd be on that shit by now. They'd be over this gun stuff. But because there's nothing's been done in Washington, you got these groups of kids now that are probably being paid off by Bloomberg and, you know, Soros to go after to incite gun control, because hey, if they're getting paid for it, obviously they're going to do something.
Yeah, and was Illinois, yeah. That's the new one that they're starting. They're gonna try to pass that shit in, where they're snagging guns from kids. I guess the way that I said that didn't sound right, but yeah, they're gonna be fucking snagging guns from people that are under 21.
It'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
But
well, and that's the thing too. And Vanessa was out there saying, "What parent does this with their kids after a horrific event? Hey, let's go on CNN." And I'm sure, like I said, it's true. I don't know if it's true as a fact, but I do believe that there's motherfuckers that were paid off for sure. But I also believe that there's some that are like have been, you know, indoctrinated since they was little kids and shit. You know,
Have you ever watched YouTube? I mean, people will do fucking anything for their 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. And especially if it's the popular thing to do. Especially if it's the popular thing to do. I'm super fucking scared. Like, I'm waiting for the stepkids to start this whole, you know, you shouldn't have guns, Jimmy.
Fuck you. Get out of here.
Yeah, leave. No, I disown you.
What the hell are you doing in my chat? How'd you get in here?
Yeah,
Security! Security!
Hear your mother's kids. Get the fuck out of here.
All right. Anyways, on a non-serious note, or a serious note, I want to go over something. So,
yeah, please control this fucking chat nights like shit.
Yeah, I will. I fucking will. Thank you. So, this Democratic asshole in the state of Virginia that's running for House decided to go and destroy her and her husband's rifle on live or on video. Problem is, she cut the barrel first. She didn't destroy the upper or lower receiver first. She cut the barrel first. And unfortunately, she's not above the law and under investigation from the ATF for doing so. Oh my. Crime doesn't pay. How about that?
Yeah, and this is worse than the guy that did it because she actually started chopping at where, like, I think she left the gas block on and everything.
Jimmy, it's right here. You can see the image. She's cutting it right in the middle of the handguard. That's where she cut first. I watched the video. She didn't cut the receiver first. The receiver's still intact. Talk about dumbass.
Yeah.
I mean, if you cut the receiver in half first, then yeah, you can destroy the barrel all you want because it's no longer a firearm once you kill the receiver. But because she didn't kill the receiver first and she went after the barrel, she made it a short barrel rifle, which is a violation of federal law 26 USC 5845 and 27 CFR 479.11.
Karen Mallard leading by example. Fucking retard.
Common sense is knowing the current law, especially when you're running for representative of a state.
No shit. Now my question is after she chopped it there, did she continue chopping?
No, she just cut the barrel in half on video.
So she has like no leg to stand on in court either.
No, she doesn't. That's the great thing. So
she can't even say, "But I kept cutting." Your Honor?
I know, but I was kind of pleasantly surprised to hear this because she's under investigation by the ATF because she did this. And while granted, she even though she did premise it saying that she's going to destroy her firearms, but the fact that she did it in this way, she still violated the law, even though she was trying to destroy the entire firearm. So even though you were trying to destroy the whole thing, you're still violating the law. I don't mind. I know she's probably going to get out of this. They're just going to give her a slap on the wrist. But at least they're investigating her for breaking the law.
No, I hope they make an example out of her. Ignorance of the law is not a fucking.
I hope they do.
Ignorance of the law is not an excuse for breaking the fucking law. I've known people that have gone to fucking, gotten in trouble for that same fucking shit. You know what I mean? You can't be ignorant of the law and expect that to be an excuse.
I hope they do too, Jimmy, but realistically, the track record of the government actually doing its job isn't very good.
Yeah, they're probably not.
They're probably going to slap her on the wrist, but at least she's under investigation for this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a step forward for sure. I agree. All right, so what other updates do we have news-wise? Because I know we've had a few wins this week. I know, Minnesota last week, and they had a couple of bills tabled. I know Ohio is fighting Kasich with their whole fucking heart and soul because he's being a piece of shit. Is there any other good news, or is there just any other bad news? Anything that I'm missing?
I don't know.
Because I know Wednesday there was a few things that went to a few floors in a few states. I just can't really remember. I'm going to go over and check YouTube while we're at it.
I did see one thing. It's posted on gun channels. Ellis linked me to this the other day, but it's a representative in Virginia. He's a Republican. What's his name's Nicholas J. Freitas. He had a very compelling speech, against the Democrats, because you know how the Democrats are saying we're all Nazis, we're fascists, we're this, that, and everything else. He went and laid it out for them entirely. Okay. It was actually a pretty good speech because he laid it out that not only was the Democrats' fault for segregation, it's also the Democrats' fault for Asian concentration camps in the 1940s. It was also the Democrats' fault for dividing the country in half during the Civil War and slavery. So, the Democrats are the ones that are trying to say we're Nazis and because the Republicans are, and they're fascist when they're trying to blame everybody else for the shit that they did. So it was actually a pretty good speech, and I don't do it justice. But I will link out there on the YouTube side, and it's already on the Gun Channel side, so check it out. Pink posted it over here, so check that out. I'll just copy the link and send it out there on the YouTube side.
I'll be right back.
But it is a very good speech, Jimmy, and you should, once you get a chance, you should listen to it.
Yeah, I will definitely. Rick reminded me too about Rhode Island. I forgot that we were talking about them the other day, and they got pretty much the same crazy shit going on. I'm gonna go look up exactly what it was right now, but it was some bullshit. It's the same raising the age, banning bump stocks, all that shit. No, wait, wasn't Rhode Island? Or no, I think that was Ohio was the one that was pretty much all semi-autos. I don't know. It might have been Rhode Island. Let me look while I'm fucking talking shit. There we are. Rhode Island gun bills. Already saved in there. Hearing on gun bills open in a sea of red and yellow t-shirts. Is that Moms Demand Action? Or is that
I don't know.
No, they're red, ain't it? I don't know. Time to red flag the red flag gun bill. Fucking A right. Uprise, Rhode Island. Hundreds rally at State House against gun control legislation in Providence. Fucking A. It's good to hear that there's people getting out there and fucking doing shit about it. But I want to hear what they actually are. Protesters pack State House at Rhode Island. Fucking A. All right, let's see what this one is. Maybe this will do it. But they're big on the red flag, though. No, that's a YouTube video. Let's see. Bada bing.
Bada boom.
Mattiello co-sponsors red flag gun bill. Raimondo to sign executive order. A bill to take firearms away from people deemed at risk for violence.
Hold up.
Like, literally, you could be fucking, if you and your fucking girl are having an argument outside of the fucking house and the neighbor sees that shit, they can call the law and say that you're violent and fucking that kind of shit.
Okay, but we got a comment on the YouTube side. Apparently, Scott Pacini is saying that Republican you're talking about made them so pissed off, they had to get up and leave the room.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, snap!
Yeah, I was reading that one thing Callahan said, and I guess whoever introduced that $500 tax was a Democrat out of St. Louis, the $500 CCW tax.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Was that for teachers? Or is that just for anybody?
I think that's just for if you go and get your CCW or your CHL or whatever the fuck they call it out there.
Since when were Democrats that cool? I don't believe that. That guy can't be a Democrat. There's something wrong there.
Right, either that or he didn't get the memo yet and shit. Like, he's a Democrat that ain't in the loop.
Yeah, maybe he's not in the loop yet, you know? Maybe he's waiting for the gun control. He's playing the carrot and stick method.
Maybe he's playing chess. 3D chess.
No, he's playing 4D chess.
64D. Fucking, yeah, maybe.
Who the hell
You don't know his
about?
life.
I have no idea where we're at right now. So
I don't know. We're updates. Any updates? All right, we're in the update section.
okay, we're in updates.
And I'm super handicapped right now.
Well, you are handicapped anyway, so.
Vanessa says, so I'm assuming this is Connecticut. 2 bills moving forward, banning bump stocks and ghost guns. Unless that might have been the Rhode Island one. I don't know. And then what?
Actually, here's one that's not getting national attention. Apparently because it can't, it doesn't fit an AR-15. They didn't want to put this on the news, but apparently a teen drawn to ISIS brought a homemade bomb to school in Utah and was arrested for it. So,
Really? Yeah, no one's going to talk about that because they're not trying to ban bombs.
It doesn't fit in the barrel of an AR-15 right now.
It could. They get those little potato launcher attachments and shit.
No. There's no such thing as an AR-15 bomb round.
Cannon? Yeah, you get a cannon and you shove the bomb in a tennis ball and then you put the tennis ball in the cannon and fucking...
Nah.
Hey, I'll be right back, guys.
Well, they can't have terrorists homegrown here because that justifies people having guns.
Yeah. Yeah, that would go all the way against their shit. To even mention that. Racquetballs too. I would say maybe what was that one thing? Because I had to look it up when somebody brought it up. It was like backy or some shit. I don't know. I thought it was the horse with the mallet thing, but you take one of them fucking balls and you got some weight to it. Polo, yeah, whatever. Holy shit, California is pushing 10 new gun laws. I mean, 5 of them are fucking bump stock related, semi-auto related. What?
Just 10? They must be getting tired.
Yeah. I'm we're just going to do 10 this week, guys.
I hope you guys in California love that scenery because that motherfucker ain't near pretty enough for me to put up with that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. And then, but I do understand the notion of wanting to fight and staying there and all that shit. I really do. But at some point, you got to be like, fuck this place. I hope they blow this motherfucker up. I'm out.
Yeah.
And we just got flagged by NSA.
Well,
it's California.
It's on my chat, so I got flagged.
And I was hypothetical.
You don't know who's who.
Hypothetical.
But I will tell Google and YouTube to go after the Early Watch AZ account if you're going to go after anything.
If you think that me and Jimmy don't each have our own personal satellite, you are sorely mistaken.
Yeah. They don't call us the Early Watch Nation for nothing. Well.
So does that mean you're Native American now?
No, not at all.
Well, hell yes, I was born here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, you're so funny.
Well, what makes you Native American? Being born in fucking America. Here you go.
Yeah.
I was born here.
Yeah. Can I get my tax? Can I get my tax, mate?
Yeah, go move for a reservation, right, Jimmy?
My reservation, reparations, whatever.
Reparations. Yeah, no, you're not getting anything.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that is true too, Cal. It's job, family, etc.
How the hell do you find the Gun Channel's version of this? The text chat for this.
There is no chat room. There's just the video that's loaded.
Yeah, the channels thing isn't working right now.
Yeah. The only link to go by is, can you see the link? Yeah, you probably can. Is that link?
Oh my fuck, I just thought about that. It's gun channels and the channels part isn't working, so it's just a gun.
Oh my, don't.
Should we do something about this, guys? I don't know. You tell somebody?
It should be plural guns, huh? There's a whole bunch of guns here.
Well, the channel part is gone, so it's just guns.
It's just guns here. And I'm nervous.
The problem is, Jimmy, you're always nervous, so that doesn't help. Calm down, drink less coffee.
If you move to the hood, you got nothing to worry about. Cops don't go there looking for guns.
No,
Yeah.
hell no. Hell no.
You're scot free.
Average response time where I fucking live at is a day.
I'm about in the same boat here.
Yeah. All
At
right.
least when the
So
cops are off duty.
yeah. Well, there like 4 cops out by where you're at and shit, and a sheriff.
We have 2 or 3 cops here, but the sheriff, you can forget that shit because he'll be here when he gets here.
Like there's a call over at the York place. Well, I just started this book, so I'll be there. All right, I'm going to.
We got to
go
draw
ahead, my
some
bad.
straws to see who's supposed to go.
Hey, play a quick hand to hold them to see who's got to go and shit.
Oh no. Who's got to go? Oh. Who's got to go?
All right, so excuse me. I was going to plug the early watch date thing again, but first I'm going to do this. I've been seeing a lot lately that a lot of people, for pro-gun stuff, with the greatest of intention, going on the anti-gun platforms trying to promote it. And I don't know. I feel like that's a bad thing. And I'm talking specifically about Facebook, which has been already proven to be pretty much mining for data at this point. Spying on us, for lack of better words, I guess, in a paranoid sense. I don't know.
It's what Edward Snowden was talking about. It's totally sanctioned by the CIA.
Well, I mean, that may or may not be, but factually, it is what it is, man. You know, what else do? They take your data, they mine it, they fucking, figure out what's fucking good out of it, and then they send you your shit back. They send you what news articles they know you're gonna like. They say, I mean, even Zuckerberg said it. The way he made it sound was very innocent, though. Like I was saying.
Be hugely anti-gun because they got lots of firearm-related advertisements.
Well, yeah, they are. I mean,
I don't click on fucking not YouTube, Facebook, that I don't get a fucking holster advertisement.
And guess why, Tone? Because they know what you're fucking into. They know what you like, and they're like, oh, we're going to send him this. Maybe he'll buy it. And then Facebook is going to get money off of that advertising. That's just a small portion of the fucking data mining that they do. That's just purchase data and shit you're into data.
They can only mine shit that you put out there, and I don't. So,
well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And people are trying to plan things according to Facebook and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying that we're in a revolutionary fucking mind state right now, even though I have said it before. But I'm not saying that right now. But what I am saying is, when people were doing stuff back in the days, did they post it in the Daily England Gazette and shit? Or, were they a little bit more underground about it?
Yeah, because Lord knows they didn't have the Inquirer.
Well, yeah, they have. Yeah, that ain't my point, but yeah.
They were back in the day, they were advocating treason. We are advocating constitutional support of our legal government.
True, but we are going against government. I feel like we're becoming the minority, though, if not already there.
Of course, we're the minority. We have been for years.
Yeah.
Gun owners, and it's only not people who are pro 2A, because they're probably pretty evenly split right now.
Well, yeah, everybody. I mean, yeah, we're all pro 2A. We're all pro 2A, and I'm not talking shit about anybody in general or specifically or anything like that. Anybody. I'm just saying, everyone is fucking 2A until they have to face it, You know, it's time to turn in your guns. The fucking law's at your fucking door now, and you know that kind of shit. Are you still gonna be pro 2A, or are you gonna just be like, yeah, I like guns, but here you go? I mean, I feel like we're not in a we may not be in a physical battle right now, but this is a fucking war, dude. Like they're fucking attacking us.
You know what? If we got all the pro-gun people off their asses to vote, we wouldn't be fighting with this shit at all, even though we're a minority.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look at the socialist movement that's going on right now. They're definitely a minority, but well, they started off as a minority, and they definitely got their fucking voices out there just from yelling and whining and shit.
Okay, Jimmy, did you read what's going on with Indiana? Roll call posted on his Instagram. You mentioned
Negative.
it.
Negative. I might have mentioned it quickly, but I didn't check the Instagram thing. No.
Oh no, Early Watch Wisconsin mentioned it. So.
Did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Apparently, I'll read it. I'll skim it and let you know. But apparently, Indiana, one of his Indiana representative, roll call 219's representative, basically decided, even though he's a Republican, decided he's going to be a rhino and go anti-gun. And pretty much says, thank you for contacting me, but fuck you, I'll do what I want to, and you can't do a fucking thing about it. It's pretty much the surmise of the whole thing.
Nice.
So, roll calls.
I get that all the time from Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth.
Roll call is angry, and he's calling the guy a turncoat and says he's not voting for that guy next election. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't vote for a rhino or a Democrat.
That's a shame because Indiana was making great strides towards freedom.
It was. I think going in the opposite direction again.
I mean, I love the law where you can mow fucking protesters down if they're in the street.
Oh, that's not a law.
The hell it ain't.
And then somebody out there was saying Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all them motherfuckers and shit, they're all data mining. And yeah, that is true. But I'm like I said, I'll post up fuck this law, that's dumb, or vote this guy out, or call your state, or that type of shit. But I don't know. I just feel like Facebook is one of the worst platforms to fucking be on pro-gun wise.
It might be.
I'm not saying everybody delete your shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying.
I don't use Facebook for gun advocacy because the people that are on my fucking Facebook are already gun advocates. I don't have to convince them of nothing.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be I mean, I could yell at the wall all day too, and shall not be infringed, and I'll probably get about the same result. Probably less aggravation.
Well, funny you should mention this. Before this happened, a lot of my family that lives in California, they're not anti-gun, but they were closer towards the fence on the conservative side. And now they're actually closer to the conservative side more so than the fence side, because they're like, we don't want any more gun restrictions. They're already bad enough here in California.
Yeah, seriously. Like, what more can you do?
So I'm like, you're finally learning. It's only like 4 years too late. But
you know what they say? You can lead a horse to water,
but you can't make it drink.
But that is another thing, though, too, that I just wanted to bring up and offer. That if anybody is interested still in doing the whole early watch thing, and now everybody out there that is doing the early watch thing has been putting in fucking A1 effort. Twitter is blowing up with shit every fucking day. Instagram has shit on there every fucking day. Like, everybody out there is doing fucking a shit ton of work, and definitely like 1,000 times more picking up my slack. You know, like more than I could ever do. So that's awesome. So I definitely wish that we had more people, because that would just, if we had that shit getting spewed out every day from 10 different people, 50 different people, instead of just 4 or 9, you know what I mean, here and there, that it would just be amazing. So, and then on top of that, we're talking about planning for rallies. We're talking about advocacy. I worked on a spreadsheet thing, which was like a bulletin board, and we can all fucking set up shit on there. News articles, fucking whatever. Dates, times, whatever. It doesn't have to be out there in the middle for everybody to see and shit.
I don't know. I can see where this can become a great tool for organizing things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I see it. I from what I've seen so far and the help that I've gotten, definitely see much more potential than I did originally. So yeah,
Same here.
it's as easy as earlywatchaz@gmail, earlywatchil, earlywatchnj, earlywatchny, whatever your state is, @gmail.com. And then, like I said, I did the Early Watch Nation thing right now and kind of do it as like a hub. So it'll be reposting everybody's shit constantly type of thing. And that's all. That's the announcement I got. We've been running for like an hour, so I don't know if you guys got anything else and want to wrap it up.
There is something. Let's see. I'm trying to pull up the link real quick.
Oh yeah, any more updates, please? Yeah, for sure. I'm fucking super handicapped right now, internet wise.
This one is local to where I'm at in SC. So apparently, a few days ago or earlier this week, they posted a. I'll put it here in the chat. I'll also put it out there on. Let's see, where's it? That one, so you can see that. And I'll put it out on the chat on the YouTube side. But basically, the state of South Carolina went and did a poll to see where people stand as far as gun control and new laws, and an overwhelming majority said they don't want the gun laws to change. They'd rather them stay as they are in South Carolina. So,
changes and get better, or you mean worse?
Period.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, rather have them the way they are than take the chance of them getting worse, I guess.
Yeah, it's a gun control survey for SC, and I was actually pleasantly surprised at the results. Granted, I believe some of them are a bit skewed because I don't necessarily believe it entirely. This might just be for the low country area, but I thought that was interesting to see.
Yeah. I'd really like to see, I know it's a pipe dream, but I'd really like to see constitutional carry across the board. Open carry, concealed carry, whatever the state wants to do, whatever. But I'd like to see it be constitutional. Nationwide.
As soon as we get close to voting on concealed carry reciprocity again, the Dems will trot out some other school shooter.
Oh yeah, and some other bullshit will happen. I mean, it's almost like a fucking a game at this point.
I got some questions from me out there on the chat. Garand man is asking if I got his contribution last night to help me get to Tulsa. I did. I'm going to Tulsa, Garand. Everything is okay. We are right on track. I'll probably get the schedule the hotel either tonight or on Sunday. I'll order the plane ticket on Sunday too. So we're good.
Very good.
So Night Strike is going to Tulsa. Who else is going to Tulsa? Tony, are you going to Tulsa?
Yes, I am.
All right.
I may or may not be with you. Fuck. Of course, shit breaks when I'm in the middle of something. Anyway,
Isn't that
you
how
guys
it
got
goes?
anything else? Because I'm dead. I'm dead in the water right now.
that's all I had for South Carolina right now, because everything else is just them trying. Some lawmakers in South Carolina are trying to introduce bills to give guns to teachers. I'm not kidding. One of the representatives is trying to do that. Another representative is trying to take guns away from teachers. You got one guy that wants to give guns to teachers. You got another guy that wants to take guns away from teachers. Remember, it's the South. We got Democrats in the South, and the Democrats started Civil War. They instituted, segregation. They also instituted concentration camps for Asians in the 1940s. So Democrats are a great party. Just saying.
Well, when it comes to the arming of teachers, it should be their choice. They're freaking American citizens just like everybody else in theory. They should have the choice. It's obvious that no gun-free zone is going to do anything to protect anybody.
So, Jimmy, do you want to let anybody in, or do you want to just end early today?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll run it another hour if you want to. I don't care.
I can run it for the full length of time for early watch day. So if
it's usually 2 hours.
I've gotten a few messages asking if they can jump in, so I'm just asking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just jump in. I just don't want if it starts to get dead air, we're done.
Right. So, all right. Let me just post a link. There we go. Shoot one out to Sean, I guess. There we go. There's a couple links out there. Check on the gun channel side for your private messages. If you ask for a link, there you go. And jump on in.
Yeah, Vanessa's saying the definition of safe zones has been proven false. A false assumption time and time again.
What is a safe zone?
I guess somewhere that doesn't have guns.
Every motherfucker in there. Every motherfucker in the thing's armed.
Yeah, that's what I would actually think. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. What else do we got? See, I never cared for.
Got nothing.
Yeah.
Squib, jump in. If you didn't get that private message on gun channels, I'll email it to you. You can do that.
I never even tried to figure out Google Plus. I didn't think that anybody really went on it like that.
I use it. I don't like it. I really don't like it. So.
Oh, Vanessa was clarifying the safe zones like schools, courthouses, VA hospitals, military bases, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Well, courthouses are generally a little safer because there's lots of guys in there with badges and guns. Plus, they usually put metal detectors up.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
You put lots of guys in a school with metal detectors and badges and guns, and schools will be a little bit safer also. But by and large, schools are relatively safe anyway. This shit is so rare.
Yeah, well, if you're going to call something an anti-gun zone, you probably should enforce it with law enforcement just to prove a point. Granted, yeah, they'll have guns, but they're supposed to enforce the law, to enforce that zone. You don't have a gun-free zone and have no one enforce it at all because it defeats the purpose of having the zone. And tonight, Strike ran.
Squibbity doo da, squibbity day. Fuck us up, Squib.
Hey.
Howdy.
Hello, Squibberoo.
Oh, did we catch you waking up?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good.
I feel like we caught you waking up today. I'm sorry about that. $55 seconds. All right.
No, I was making breakfast and I was listening on the phone and I'm going back and forth and I'm on the desktop, I'm on the phone. This not having a lobby on the homepage is really just messed up.
Squib, I messaged you on Gun Channel side and I also email you just to make sure you got the link.
Well,
Says,
thank you very much.
you know, I'm nice like that. Figure that out. What is this nonsense? Night Strike playing nice? All right. Anyways, so what's going on, Squib?
Not much. Just gonna have something to eat. I missed parts of the show, so I'm not sure everything that's been talked about. So,
Did you respect women today? That's all that matters.
I'm gonna refrain from answering that question. I'm gonna refrain from that. Thanks for the little surprise there, Jimmy. For the patches and stickers or decals, patches and decals.
Yeah, at least I can do, man. At least I can do. Let's see here. Is there anything new? There ain't nothing really that's been happening in Michigan like that, huh? Let's see.
Hey, Rick, you can turn the page off now.
Well, I mean, update wise,
Michigan, they're not trying to pass any anti-gun laws here. I'm not saying they never try that crap here, but it goes nowhere. We're a pro-gun state. I'm not saying it can't happen here, but we're a really pro-gun state. There are a lot of FUDs here, and the UAW. As big as they are here, they're mostly Democrat, but they're mostly Democrat. There's an echo.
Yeah,
the UAW is mostly Democrat for two reasons.
It's Rick.
One, they tell their members to vote Democrat, and most of their members go, okay. They don't think for themselves. Same thing with the teachers' unions here. Okay. The other thing is, they pay them to vote Democrat. So, I mean, even though that side typically goes the anti-gun way and whatnot, we still have enough people here that are pro-gun that we don't have too many issues.
Oh yeah, when I was in the SEIU, man, they would say you want to keep the union, vote Democrat.
Yeah. You want to keep the union, vote Democrat. Oh, election day, it's paid off, and there's nothing your employer can do about it. You're going to pay me. You're going to give me a paid day off. So get this: they get election day paid off, Veterans Day paid off, opening day of deer season paid off. Then they get Thanksgiving Day and the day after Thanksgiving paid off. They get 4 paid vacation days in November on election years. Now, I don't have a problem with that from the sense of we all need to get more paid vacation or paid holidays. We all need it. But when you do something like that for your employees, because the people who work at auto plants that are UAW don't work for Ford or GM or they work for the UAW. When you do stuff like that for your employees, that's good and whatnot. But it's always bothered me how many of these guys vote Democrat, and the Democrats typically want to ban guns, and then 2 weeks later they get another paid day off to go hunting.
Yeah, it's ironic, don't you think?
But Ohio next door is having their set of problems.
Oh yeah. That fucking Kasich. Excuse me, I had a mouthful.
Do we
But
know
yeah.
who all's going to be there tomorrow?
Oh,
At the rally for Ohio for tomorrow?
I was talking to Budget last night. He says that that Hickok 45 is supposed to make an appearance.
Well, if he does, then I'll stop complaining about him not
taking a stance.
Yeah, I understand there are some things about it, and he can't possibly be everywhere all the time, but all of these trips that his sponsors pay for and all this other stuff, I mean, I don't know. To some extent, if you're going to say you're pro 2A, pro gun, pro this, pro, sometimes you got to eat some of it out of your own pocket. Not to mention, he could probably just write it off on his taxes. He needs so many write-offs anyhow. Or he could probably tell Bud's Gun Shop or Federal or SDI or any of these other ones, hey, I'll wear your damn T-shirt if you pay my, whatever. I don't know. But
I think maybe he lost a couple of sponsors just because he had to create a Patreon account. So,
yeah, the Patreon thing, whatever.
I just find it hilarious that those of us that weren't making much money on YouTube did Patreon, and it's helping us. Whereas he was getting more money on YouTube, and it's gotten so bad for him he has to do Patreon. I'm like, so you're coming late to the party because you're not getting any sponsors anymore? Well, boo hoo hoo. Now you know how us little guys feel.
Like, can you imagine with 3-something million subscribers, how much money he could earn on Patreon, even if it's only $1 a month?
I don't care if the guy makes $1 million a year doing it. I don't care about that. The whole capitalism thing, yeah, I'm down with that. The thing is, it's when the people that are supporting you, some of them are just supporting him for entertainment, and some of them are gun guys that don't give two craps about the Second Amendment. But he said time and again about get out there and vote, make your voice heard, support the NRA. I know y'all are mad at them, but support the NRA because they're the biggest dog we got in this fight. And the NRA sponsors him too. Okay, well, that being said, then go out there and set the example. I realize you're doing it on YouTube, but some of the stuff people were saying, like simply just go, I'm not going to be in Columbus on the 7th, but just in case you didn't know, there's going to be a rally in Columbus on the 7th. I'm not telling you to go. I'm just letting you know, just in case this is the only form of media that you have that, because not everybody Facebooks, not everybody Twitters, not everybody Instagrams, not everybody's on gun channels, not everybody's a member of Ohio Carry.
Because apparently he wants to keep the political aspect separate from his channel, and that's great. But the problem is when you do that, people only see you as a quote unquote fake channel
or shill.
You're just there for entertainment. You're not there for the actual, believe in what you preach.
Well, some bitch went to the 2A rally in Tennessee, 5th.
Oh, I know he went. Just because he went, that's one thing. But actually saying that he went on camera, that's another.
What people were asking was, you've got this gigantic audience. Can you say there are going to be rallies at every state capital on the 5th? He didn't say it. I don't care if he went to it. He didn't say it. Nobody really cares if he went to it, because where his power lies in is all of his viewers. It's simply a matter of going, look, I can't make it due to scheduling conflicts or some other thing, or I'm going to be there, but please understand I cannot sign 5 million autographs or whatever it is. But I'm asking all of you in every state to look online at your local or your state gun advocacy groups. They may have something, or ask around or whatnot. But we're trying to do this every state capital on the 5th. Try to find out where's the parking. Can you carry? Can't you carry? What are your gun laws or whatever? I'm just encouraging everybody to be pro Second Amendment and show up to this. He didn't make a video. Neither did his son. So if he shows up, he shows up. That's great. but he could do a million times more good by just saying it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, because I mean he'll have the following, like you're saying, dude. I mean, not that Matt doesn't or anybody, you know, he's got, you know, a few 100,000 in it, something like that. So I mean,
the only
that's a
reason
lot.
I knew about November 5th was because of Matt.
Yeah, but I mean, now imagine that. Now imagine Hickok. Hickok is, you know, what, 10 times more? He's in the millions
Right.
kind
And
of shit, ain't it?
I'm not saying he has to. If he says, you know, screw everybody, I'm my own person. This is just a business. I'm not obligated to do this. He has the right to do that. As an American, he has the right to do that. I'm just saying, though, if you want to go out and say, make your voice heard and vote, and you know, because he's had those messages on his vlogs and other things where he's going, I can't tell you what party to vote for, but you know who's for guns and who isn't, and do your research and join the NRA. And then why couldn't he take 30 extra seconds ago, you know, to say there's going to be rallies? I don't know.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, as a advocate of the Second Amendment, and I mean, not even the Second Amendment, just all of our rights as a whole. I don't know. That's the least you could do, right? Is just throw out a little, hey, there's going to be rallies. Go to your capital.
The last time he actually did anything political with his channel was when he went and he actually video recorded him going to the nation capital and speaking out against the AR-15 ban. Yeah. And he put that on his channel. That was the only time he actually put anything political on his channel to go against something like that. But
I'm not saying he's got to be political. I'm not saying he can stay out of politics altogether by going, just in case you didn't know, on day X at state capital X, they're having a 2A rally. That's it. Or down below is a link to the, okay, so say he did one on the Ohio one, right? He could say, in the link in the description below is Ohio Carry's link. They've got information on it, or something like that.
And remember, he does do his own podcast too. So I mean, he could do that on his podcast. He doesn't actually have to do it on any of his shooting videos. You know, he does do a podcast, and people will find out about it. So
I'm complaining about it, but I'm also saying he's not obligated, and so I think it's crap to say one thing and then not follow through. But at the end of the day, he's his own person, and he can do whatever the hell he wants, and he can say, "Squib, go get bent." That's fine. I don't care. I still watch some of his videos.
Robert Sinclair on the YouTube side is saying, politicians have our best interest in mind? A question mark. When was the last time you ever heard anything speak of individual liberty or the Bill of Rights? Robert, you're wrong. While they say they have our best interest in mind, the only interest politicians have is their own.
Regardless of whether the question mark makes it a question of incredulity, not a statement.
Either way, they are totally not in our best interest. Period.
No shit.
Ever.
However, Governor Rauner here in Illinois did say that when they asked him about new gun laws in Illinois, that their gun rights are protected by the Second Amendment. And we got enough fucking laws here. I spruced it up with my own profanity, but that's essentially what the man said.
Yeah, well, I know that the politicians feel like they're signing their own I don't even want to say death warrant. That's not even right. That they feel like they're not going to get reelected if they don't go with what seems to be popular.
Shit.
You know. But it's nice when somebody stands up and goes, look, this is what you elected me for. This is what the law says. Next question.
Jimmy? We might be in for a rough ride.
What's up?
I sent you a link there. I'll put it here in the chat, but we're going to get hosed.
Hosed?
Hosed. Assault weapons not protected by Second Amendment federal court appeals court rules.
Maryland's ban on 45 kinds of assault weapons and its 10-round limit on gun mags were upheld Tuesday by a federal appeals court in a decision that met with a strongly worded dissent in a 10-4 ruling. The Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Richmond, Virginia,
Great.
said the guns banned under Maryland's laws aren't protected by the Second Amendment.
Take it to the fucking Supreme Court.
Well, yeah, you can take it to the Supreme Court, but they won't hear it because they don't hear any gun stuff ever.
That ain't fucking true.
It's been true for the last 10 years. Where have you been?
10 years is not ever.
Are you fucking... Hold on. Unthinkable that these weapons of war, weapons that caused the carnage in Newton and in other communities across the country, would be protected by the Second Amendment. It's a very strong opinion, and it has national significance, both because it's in bank and for the strength of its decision. Frost said, nothing that all of the court's judges participated. For law-abiding citizen, for whatever reason, chooses to protect his home with a semi-automatic rifle instead of a semi-automatic handgun, Maryland's laws clearly impose a significant burden on the exercise of the home or of the right to arm oneself at home, and it should at least be subject to strict scrutiny review before it is allowed to stand. They're going, oh my God, they're going after everything.
Of course they are. That's their fucking end game. Get rid of them all.
Now, the semi-automatic rifle part is what fucking bothers me. We're going into anything territory now.
Okay, by the way, this article, Ellis sent it to me last night. I'm just getting around to it this morning. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it. I'm glad you did.
But thank you, Ellis, for the article.
Yeah. I needed a headache in the wee hours of the morning.
Yes, you totally did. That's what I'm here
Maryland,
for.
So now check this out. Maryland's law needs to become a national model of evidence-based policies that will reduce gun violence. So they're trying to set a precedence.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said we're kind of fucked.
Nice.
But granted, this is only appeals court. This isn't the Supreme Court, so we might we might be able to take it to the Supreme Court, and we might get this is just a wishful thinking. We might get a ruling saying no, the Second Amendment applies to all firearms.
That's the ruling we hope to get, because then that just voids
that
34 and 68.
No, it'll also void the 86.
Hey, it says here they're fucking precisely the type. This noted that enacting the law is precisely the type of judgment that legislatures are allowed to make without second guessing by a court. Simply put, the state has shown all that is required a reasonable, if not perfect fit between the Firearm Safety Act and Maryland's interest in protecting public safety. What a joke.
So,
thank you,
Jimmy. We've got some good followers, good friends, and good family.
Appreciate it. Is that fucking it for today, or is there more?
Well, I haven't seen anything yet. If I, see anything, I'll definitely throw it in.
This is just a Maryland law, right?
This is Maryland, but they're trying to set a federal precedence or a national precedence with it.
But once again, it's another state that hates guns. So you got the dozen or so states that are always going to do this, and then you got the rest of the country. I mean, don't be so surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm just saying they're actually trying to take this to the, federal courts, and they may have a leg to stand on.
for Maryland?
Well, not
The
necessarily.
only thing Maryland can say about itself is it's bigger than Rhode Island. Other than that, who gives a shit?
No. What they're trying to do is make this, say to the federal government that this should be across the board. It's in the let me see here.
Yeah, that's the Fourth Circuit. U.S.
Fourth Circuit, yeah.
So any state that falls under the Fourth Circuit can be held to that law.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
With it coming from Maryland, I'm really not concerned. I mean, it should be on the radar. If it was coming from California, I'd be concerned.
Does South Carolina come under the Fourth District?
Unfortunately.
So they could say we're banning assault weapons, and they'll quote that case right there as their justification.
And South Carolina can say we will not comply.
Yeah, they can. Yeah. Now,
I don't know if that law ever came into effect, but in the Senate, in the judiciary, they did approve a law saying that we won't comply with any gun legislation laws federally. But I don't know if that ever got through the House. So.
Well, then, I mean, we did that shit out here, the whole, not taking nothing federally. And then they tried to pass a couple of shits out here. They had their little bump stock ban out here and some other shit, and that got shut down immediately.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we got a lot of manufacturers down here. We've got a couple of importers, I think. I mean, to name a few, we've got PTR in South Carolina. They make the PTR 91.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Daniel Defense Factory in South Carolina. Down at Beaufort. We've got an FN factory in Columbia. We've got PSA in Columbia. So what's that? PSA, FN, Daniel Defense, PTR. Who else? We have American Tactical Imports in Somerville down the road from me. So we got more than a couple. And if all those companies go out, guess what? That's almost 1 million Americans out of jobs. Right there.
Yep.
Because of the people they employ. And I'm sorry, but if the SC state the government goes and institutes that one law me and Ellis are worried about, it basically bans literally everything that's a semi-automatic and bump stocks and everything.
I think the Supreme Court, there's a good chance they might pick this one up because it sort of goes what they're saying. They're questioning the Heller case, right? They're saying he said that it's legal to do that. What I mean?
Yeah, but as I was saying, if they do that in South Carolina, there's going to be at least 1 million Americans pissed off that they lost their jobs because the government said, "Oh yeah, you can't have this anymore." So those companies lay off everyone, and yeah, people be pissed.
Night Strike, all those companies together don't have 1 million employees. And do you think the gun companies in Illinois gave two craps?
Well, that's Illinois.
I'd like to see these companies that are making money off of us do more to support us by supporting the and all that other garb, but they don't about pictures leaving the state. They don't care about that. Not trying to be negative. I'm just being blunt and honest. These politicians, it's just like the states that give tax credits to industries that move in, and then they turn right around and decide, we've given you tax credits long enough, and those companies turn right around and move out to the next state that gives them a tax credit.
How many gun companies are left in Connecticut?
I don't know. But when companies move into a state because they get a tax break, and then the tax break goes away and they move out, you don't see the politician go, oh, no, we'll extend the tax break. No, they go, well, bye.
Yeah. Well, also look what Delta did. They took away the discounts for the NRA, and the law that Georgia put in for their jet fuel tax, their tax deduction or whatnot. They pretty much threw that out the window because they did that.
You think Delta even cares?
No, probably not. But still,
I mean, doing something is better than doing nothing. I'm just saying that the politicians sometimes don't give a crap, and the companies sometimes just don't give a crap.
I'm trying to say that actions have consequences. Regardless of what the action is.
And really, and I don't mind saying it, I am an NRA member. I didn't join the NRA to get fucking discounts from cars and airplanes.
No.
If they take it away, big deal. I never used it anyway.
I'm not saying I support the NRA either. I was just saying that, it seems rather callous for all these companies to, support a discount, during one point in time, then taking it away because of one situation that happens. When they didn't take it away when Democrats shot up a bunch of Republican politicians, in Washington D.C. Did they?
Somebody even batted an eyelash.
Nobody even batted an eyelash, and when it was a Democrat that did that. So,
yeah, plus it was on the news only for about less than a week.
Yeah, it was on the news for less than a week, and then it went away. But we have to put up with this shit for 2 or 3 months.
Oh, I know. That's because mainstream media, 90% of them lean to the left.
Yeah.
They've got people in their legal departments or in their communication, marketing, that sort of thing, that are saying, maybe we should be proactive and go ahead and cut ties before we start getting boycotts. They're more worried that somebody will find out that the NRA gives their members discounts and say, I'm not flying your airline, or I'm not going to your crappy sporting goods store because of the NRA. And you'll have these gun stores go, we're going to stop selling these guns, or we're going to stop selling to people under the age of 21, or you're going to say, we're going to stop offering member discounts and all this other stuff. So they're going on the proactive because they've been advised to do that, because they're looking at where are we going to lose the least amount of customers. And the Pro 2A guys are going, we didn't even know we got a discount with our NRA membership, or I don't even shop at that crappy sporting goods store anyhow. And when we do that, which, I'm guilty of it too, then they go, oh, well, see, we're just saving the customers that do want to come here or will use their discount or whatever it is. I'm not saying we're doing anything wrong. It's just go ahead and do this stuff. It's not going to change our opinion, but there are so many politically correct people working in these companies and offices that they come up with the slogans, they come up with the advertising campaigns, they come up with marketing strategy, all this other stuff, and they have to look at politics. And it's crap that that they go to these petty lengths, but that's what happens. Jumpy Killer Ox is over in the YouTube chat, just
he's going after the NRA,
tearing up the NRA.
Well, I don't blame him. They've had a lot of screw ups lately, so I don't blame him for being angry at the NRA. But again, I'd rather all these groups go and attack the NRA, even though the NRA is pretty damn silent right now. I'd rather them attack the NRA than the GOA or the Second Amendment Foundation or any of the other groups that are actually doing something.
But they're not doing anything, Night Strike. They're not doing anything either. They're just not getting vilified, or they're literally not doing anything. Like the NRA was going, well, maybe we should look at these bump stocks. So they did something, and they did something wrong. The GOA and the 2AF or whatever, SAF and all that, they didn't do anything one way or the other. They're not out there. Nobody knows who the hell they are. So I'm not saying, hey, you need to stay in the NRA. If you decide you don't want to be in the NRA, or you're not renewing your membership, I support you. And if you say, nope, I'm staying in the fight, or I still like what they do, or if I don't stay in, I can't vote, or whatever, I support you there too. It don't matter to me either way. But all this, the gun owners of America are doing something. Really? I've never heard them say gun owners of America on primetime news. I don't think anybody knows who they are.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hear you on that, Squib, but at the same time, I got 2 points on that. My first point is that even the NRA at one point when they started off, nobody knew who the NRA was. I mean, there's still possibilities, and I know that the gun owners of America and them type of groups haven't just started off or anything like that, but I mean, there is chance for groups to grow, and it's not like the NRA. If you're not a part of the NRA, you ain't doing nothing. And I know that's not what you're saying. And then my second point is that isn't that kind of like deduction, right? The only people that the mainstream news, which the mainstream news is filled with lies and bullshit and, and other assortments of colorful words, the only ones that they mention are the NRA. I don't know. That could also be a little bit suspicious, I guess.
What do you mean?
800-pound gorilla.
Well, they're exactly. The NRA is always going to be able to be the monster in the room. And as long as people continue to mention the NRA, who may or may not be in bed, maybe not in bed with the politicians, but in conjugal visits, maybe. I don't know. But, maybe they're doing this in order to keep the NRA in the position that they're in, so no other gun organizations that are actually, pro Second Amendment.
Listen, they can tell their minions out there that the NRA is the one they got to fight. If they were to tell them there's 50 of these organizations, it would just scare the living fuck out of people. If they told them that there was 3 or 4 that were 1 million members or more strong, they're trying to focus their people on one big bad guy. And
exactly.
They won that one.
Exactly. And now, what if Rubio was at that little? And I'm not, Rubio, whatever. But I mean, what if he was at that little CNN powwow that they had, and he was like, "No, okay, I'll stop taking money from the NRA. I'll just start taking it from the GOA or whatever the fuck." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But think of it like this, though: the anti-gunners think that the only pro-gun organization we have is the NRA. If the GOA and the SAF and all of the state organizations somehow or another got their name out there, whether they got their nose bloodied by the leftist media, or they did some sort of national ad campaign or something, just they got out there, suddenly the people would be going, holy crap, there's like over 100 gun organizations in America. People in general, the average public, the people that think that you can go into any gun store in America and buy an RPG without any background check.
Well,
okay,
hell,
those
you
people
have it sent to your house. You don't have to go to the store.
Right. Okay, those people think there's only one gun organization, the NRA. They have no idea who the GOA is. They have no idea who the SAF is. They have no idea that there are states that have one or more state organizations. They have no idea. Maybe if we made that as common knowledge is what a 4473 is, people might have a different opinion about gun owners and gun ownership in America. They might go, holy crap, there's more people that are pro-gun out there than we thought. Or Well, maybe if my neighbor's a member of this organization and I know my neighbor and he's not crazy, then maybe all gun owners aren't crazy. But no,
Well,
instead, everybody just vilifies the NRA. And I just think some of these other organizations need to get their nose bloodied a little bit.
But they have though. The Pratt brothers have been out there. They get shut down immediately, or their shit never gets any replay, or they never make it to the mainstream. They'll get interviews on CNN, they'll get interviews on MSNBC, and then that's it. They'll never get talked about ever again.
The thing is, two things here. One is the NRA is their target. Just like you hung a dartboard on the wall and said NRA on it. That's what they did. They don't give a fuck about the NRA one way or another.
I agree with that, but I feel like there's more to that.
The NRA doesn't have the clout money-wise they're saying they do. What we really need to do is use the scare tactic idea that the left tends to use backwards. Tell them, say, look, you want to ban these things, but there's several million of them in private hands in this country already. What are you going to do about those?
Look, I agree with you. Oh, good. I was just going to say, I agree with you, but I disagree in the fact that I think it's more than that. I think that it's also, it takes away the power of the other gun organizations, pro-gun organizations, if they only keep the limelight on the NRA, which they know the NRA is going to already flip-flop. Whether they're in bed or not, no matter.
What I'm saying is they're not after the NRA per se as just to be after something, and the NRA happens to be that something.
That and
they needed a bad guy.
Right, yeah, but they also need
well known.
But they also need a gun organization to focus on so that no other gun organizations can get popularized, even when they get out on the mainstream
media. Work.
It seems to be.
The GOA has millions of members also.
They do, right, but there's and for some reason they're not able to get out there and get the attention no matter what they do. The Pratt brothers have put in effort. And you can't, I mean, if anybody can disagree with that, I have some things that I can cite.
These other organizations don't want the attention. Look at the money the NRA has.
That's also a case too. Yeah, that also could be the case too.
Look at the money the NRA has to spend on PR. GA don't have to.
That's where it all comes from. It's PR. NRA spends a hell of a lot of money on it. They claimed they had a surge in membership since the shooting in Florida.
Probably did because they ran a membership drive where they dropped prices.
Well, yeah, but they ran a membership drive this past week, I think it was, and it was something along the lines of join the NRA or lose your guns or lose your gun rights or something like that. Like, I'm just like, oh my God.
But it's true. If somebody doesn't stand up to them, they're going to start banning shit just because they can get away with it. I mean, I'm not saying the NRA can stop them, but the potential.
I guess my thing is that they've been around for so long and in the same fucking thing. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I got a question.
Like I said,
I got a question for you. If they're now, what was that, a week or so ago when old Trump said, take the guns, do the court thing later and all this kind of crap, then during the week following, he had 2 lunches with the NRA, and he hasn't mentioned it since. So they have spoke to him to calm him down. So they are doing their job.
I'll guarantee you, they sit across the table from that man. They told him, you do this and you will not get reelected.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he needs to hear that sort of thing.
That's more likely what happened. That's why he hasn't mentioned it since.
I don't know. I don't trust him anymore. I see him being as the same side as the enemy.
Quit interrupting me, you son of a bitch.
Don't
interrupt him more.
It's not Conspiracy Thursday yet.
What I do.
Gone. Conspiracy Thursday was yesterday.
All right, everyone, shut up. Let Tony speak.
Trump is a populist. He's not a fucking conservative. He never has been. He's for whatever makes Trump popular, good or bad. So everybody's mourning over this school thing. He's like, yeah, we are to do something. Then the NRA comes along and says, hey, you do this, you ain't getting fucking reelected, asshole. So now he's going to meet with Kim Jong, whatever the fuck his name is.
May just
like
he needs. He needs to hear
just
that.
like everybody thinks that the NRA is pro Second Amendment, and really they're just pro money amendment.
The NRA is a gun training education thing.
That's what they started off as. They'll never go back to just that.
They were that way for 75% of their existence too.
Yeah, and then they saw that they could make money in fucking politics and stopped caring. They still have their programs because they, keep up appearances.
Well, I'm not gonna tell anybody join the NRA, the GOA, the SAF, or any of that. I don't care if you join them or you don't join them. I don't care if you have a life member or you decide to get an annual membership only because if you change your mind, you can cancel. I don't care if you only want to do state, only want to do national, or don't want to do any at all. I don't care if you donate extra money to them or you say, nope, my dues are enough. I don't care. And if anybody wants a digital copy of American Rifleman on PDF, send me an email and I'll forward you mine. Because the articles aren't too bad. But I don't really care if somebody does or doesn't.
Well, Squib,
you can look at the fucking thing online anyway. You don't have to have the digital subscription.
Yeah. Squib, all I'm going to say now is, you don't care if they join a group or not. I'm going to say the opposite. If you join a group that appeals to the Second Amendment the most to you, whether it's local, state, federal, whether it's national, but do your due diligence before joining an advocacy group and becoming a member.
Okay, Night Strike, I'll amend my statement with this. If you're going to join a Pro 2A group and you want my endorsement, I recommend joining Gun Channels because it is the best Pro 2A group out there. Thank you.
I say, if you're going to be Pro 2A, be Pro 2A. And if somebody does, by happenstance, decide or whatever to convince you that they need your money to make that happen, then make sure that they're Pro 2A also. I agree with that statement. But just be Pro 2A. Make your voice be heard. This is supposed to be by the people, for the people, and it disgusts me that we need to pay some fucking organization to make our voices be heard.
By the people, for the people,
but in that argument, though, Jimmy, you're saying that Patreon and Super Chat are bullshit too. So
I am honestly. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
I am. I do think it's bullshit.
I've said that all along.
Not that I don't appreciate. I mean, I do appreciate everybody that has helped us out for sure. Don't get me wrong about that, but we're here for each other. That's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be a nation that has each other's backs, no matter what creed, color, race, religion. It don't fucking matter. We're all American citizens. And
I'll say it right out loud. There will not be any for Patreon supporters only content in this fucking show while I'm here.
No, yeah. I mean, everybody that is a Patreon, they already know. They get, a little like sticker pack or whatever. I'll try to send them a new one every month that, if they want it. If they don't want it, whatever. But I mean, I appreciate it for sure. But I think that people need to be paid in order to keep their content up on YouTube? No, I don't.
I think the NRA could make enough money off of sponsorship from gun manufacturers. That's why I was saying earlier about, all these companies who were pumping all this money into buying all their garbage should be propping up the NRA. But I also think they should be propping up the GOA and the locals and all that. Why doesn't the GOA have a magazine like American Rifle where they can sell ad space in it? I don't know.
Problem with that is, Squib, is that then they start looking to the manufacturing interest, and the manufacturing business goes up when there's fucking panic.
You don't think that's already not happening? It's happening.
Of course it's happening, but if they take their main money source from them, that's who they're going to fucking bow to.
it's just like when you read some of the review articles, whether it be in American Rifleman or Guns and Ammo or whatever, right? And you read how some of this is written, and you're going, damn, I wonder how much they paid this guy to say all these great things. Then you read another article where the guy's kind of objective going, well, it had a failure here, or it didn't like reloads, or, you know, it's got good features, but I've got big hands, so it's not comfortable or whatever. And then you get another article where it's just, it's great. And it's like, whoa. So, I mean, they do have those interests in mind, but I'm just saying we could all have free memberships if they just went off of money from commercial sources.
If they're taking their NRA, like, you know, the Pro 2A group or whatever as a job, it's going to always be that. There's always going to be some sort of an agenda in order to create money for employees. But what we really need is something that would be self-sustaining, something that doesn't need money to survive, something that's you know, by the people for the people.
We fucking proved that that's an impossibility.
I feel like it ain't. I feel like it ain't.
We
and I mean, in 2013,
penny
motherfuckers were able to all get together and shit. And I mean, I understand we don't have an assault weapon ban necessarily looming, and, you know, federal wise and all that shit. It ain't as bad as 13, but it's getting there, man.
We can't run this fucking show without a little help from our viewers. I mean, and this shouldn't be costing anything but a little time.
Right.
Well, yeah, but that's still, I mean, that's the viewers, that's still somewhat self-sustaining. Because the viewers also help with the content too. Shit. I don't got nothing original.
I ain't the diehard anti-NRA guy that a lot of gun guys are right now. I'm pissed off at the NRA for the way they do business.
Everybody's pissed off at the NRA these days.
But, you know, the bit they did about bump stocks really is typical NRA shit. I mean, if you look at the history of the NRA, they've always been willing to do shit like this.
Yeah, but they always what they pick for the sacrificial lamb is usually the thing that the majority of gun owners don't give two shits about.
Bump stocks.
Right. And in 94, the assault weapon ban, the guns that were on that ban were not popular in 1994. They're popular now.
Absolutely not.
It infuriates me how many people jumped on the bandwagon last year, and they have no idea that in 1994 you weren't buying ARs and AKs the way people do today, or in 86 the machine gun thing. That nobody gave two shits about machine guns in 86.
Right.
Oh yeah, and if you did it in 94, you're paying out the ass. You ain't paying
I'm not saying the NRA isn't guilty of being a political organization or being more interested in money than they are training. They are. They used to be something that was a lot better. But once they got into politics and they found out that how much money they could make, it's like what Jimmy's saying. It's never going to go back. It's never going to go back.
They damn near got it in the late 70s when they changed their vote structure, and then fucking LaPierre got in there and they slowly eked it back to where he's god of the NRA now. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's what
and
I was
this
saying
isn't
a while
the first
back.
situation where there's been a murder that was high profile all over the national news and people did something about it. The whole 1968 thing was from JFK and his brother and Martin Luther King all getting shot, but mostly JFK. Now, I realize that it took 4 years, but I mean, these sort of things have, if you have enough popular consensus, you know, within the country, because people feel bad about that things, and they go, let's look at the characteristics of the criminal or the crime, and let's go ahead and let's ban that stuff, or let's restrict it, or let's come up with laws about, instead of looking at other things like motive or stuff like that, stuff that would be more rational or logical. They're going to go, let's ban the characteristics.
Whose fucking phone's ringing?
My stupid ass Comcast piece of shit landline. Oh, sorry. Can you guys tell I don't like it?
uh,
At least it doesn't say
Not at
you've
all.
got mail.
you know how they sold the 68 thing? They sold it by demonizing little cheap ass imported handguns, giving them the name Saturday Night Special, and telling people that they were dangerous because they fucking blew up. They weren't made to U.S. standards.
But they also went after the whole, Lee Harvey Oswald ordered his gun through the mail. If we stop allowing people to do that, then we'll save another president's life. And everybody loved Kennedy. So there were parts of it that had to do with pulling at the heartstrings of the American public.
Well, I think
doing it
didn't
again.
that part lead into the import part, right? The Oswald part led into the whole, well, he got this as an import, and then it went into the ROM company
He
or
ordered it
whatever.
from he ordered it from a gun store in New York or New Jersey or something, I think, and they just mailed it to his house. Now you can't have a gun mailed to your house. All I'm saying is there are different aspects of these laws and bans and restrictions and stuff that come from, let's look at the characteristic of a crime and let's play it to the majority of the public and use the popularity of the crime and find a way to regulate the characteristics instead of looking at the root cause.
It ain't that fucking complicated. It's more of a, what can we do to disarm the population so they can't oppose us?
Well, see, Tony, that's just it. When you talk to an anti-gunner and you say the Second Amendment is there to prevent our government from turning into a tyrannical government like other governments have throughout history. And throughout history, they've disarmed the population first before they really rose to power. They label you as a nut job. So, and on the other sense, if they go, well, what do you need an AR-15 for? And then you start going, well, I do 3-gun, or I want it for home defense, or I live in the country and I need something to shoot coyotes, or I think it's an excellent gun to train on, or whatever. No, these are all piss poor excuses that we're giving. We shouldn't have to give one excuse.
Needs
Not
got
one.
nothing to fucking do with it.
Huh?
Needs got nothing to fucking do with it.
But that's what they want. They want to go, what do you need it for? And then all these people keep coming up with all these things. We don't need a reason.
And if they want a real reason, I'll say, in case the government turns on me, I want to be able to fight back.
No, my reason is I need it. I need it because it's my right.
Then they say you're a nut job and you're looking to overthrow the government. All I'm saying is no matter what reason we give them, whether it's legitimate or not, none of those arguments hold up in their minds. No. All these people go, well, I have fun with it. It's fun. It's cool. Really, dude, that is shallow. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's not gonna change them.
You realize how I worded that very specifically.
No, I didn't.
Skirt the nut job part, because I said I need it in case my government turns on me.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, in the anti-gunner mind, you just called yourself.
I didn't call myself anything. It was specific the way I chose to word that because it's a just in case thing.
They don't think like people in the 2A community.
Well, what Script is saying, they don't think like an actual normal human being.
No, in their mind, they're normal. Just like in our mind, we're normal. We're not wrong. I'm not saying we're wrong at all. I'm just saying that they don't. None of these excuses or reasons or explanations mean a damn thing to them. And some of the stuff we say makes it sound worse.
Right. And that's kind of where I was going with that, saying that in a specific way to try to curtail that, your fucking militant nut job bullshit. Because I ain't wanting to get off my ass and do nothing. But I will if it comes to it.
Then they'll say, you know, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? And then when you say, look, if they take away our Second Amendment, the next will go is the First Amendment. They'll say, they'll never do that. They'll never do that. And you're not gonna get anywhere. And you just don't get anywhere.
1934, what's it? 1938, 1968, 1986, 1994.
None of those had anything to do with the First Amendment, Night Strike. If you want to go after something that they care about, you got to find a way to. But even then, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that the Nazis took guns after they made everybody register them, and then they started burning books. They don't want to hear that.
They don't. They also don't want to hear you argue. Period. They just they believe what they're going to believe, and nothing you say can convince them otherwise. So don't even try and argue with them.
It's not them that we want to convince. It's the people on the fence in the middle that we need to convince.
Yeah.
There is nobody on the fence in the middle.
Oh, the hell there ain't.
If they're still on the fence now, they're going to be on the fence for the rest of their lives.
Not if they let emotions control their fucking judgment.
Well,
there's a certain group of people in this country that are absolutely indifferent to guns. They don't care about them one way or the other.
I don't agree. I think if you're indifferent, you're anti-gun.
My number 3 daughter is a prime example of that. She could care less about having a gun. But she did ask me to buy one for her son.
If you care less about guns, and you can say you're on the fence or you're in the middle, you're indifferent or whatever it is, that's great. But when it comes time to vote for politicians who are for the Second Amendment, that's not even on your radar. It's not even a concern. You don't care. It's like the guy who has...
What we got to do with this conversation is explain it to them so that they'll care. That's what I've said all along. Arguing with an anti-is just to convince...
But the people in the middle are anti by name.
Uh-oh, we lost Jimmy and we lost Squib.
Great.
So
Tony, I'm right.
Tony, how are you doing?
Great, man. I'm fantastic.
Awesome. I'm good too. I hope Jimmy comes back because there's a question over on the Gun Channel's main page that we could probably answer.
You know, there's a lot more people than one would realize that are pretty indifferent towards firearms. I mean, you know, they'll get distraught when they see this shit on TV, but they're smart enough to know that it's rare.
Right.
And they just don't give a shit one way or another.
But I realize if you're still on the fence, if you still don't give a shit one way or the other, at least listen to this, okay? You have the first 10 amendments. They're your rights, period. Okay? If you don't vote for a politician that is for those rights, it doesn't matter which one, they're going to get taken away. Plain and simple.
The whole, you know, if you're not with us, you're against this thing is something that I oppose wholeheartedly.
All right, we got Jimmy and we've got
welcome back, guys. Don't fucking disagree with me again.
It just got too hot in here, man. Too hot.
Hey, Jimmy, we got a question over on the Gun Channel's main page that you might want to, mention because it's a gun question.
What is it?
Okay, it's by a guy named Spencer Morris. Posted this on a local Facebook page, but Travis P11, the Travi leader, told me to go ahead and post it here too. Does anyone have any experience shooting both the M&P 2.0 4 1/4 inch and the Glock 17? Just want to hear opinions and get some reasons why you prefer one or the other. Has any of you guys shot the M&P 2.0 or the Glock 17?
I have not.
No, nobody likes guns anyhow.
I'm trying to deal with a retarded dog. Hold on.
I'm pretty certain that the main difference people would find is the grip angle.
Well, the grip angle of the Glock, right?
Right, yeah, because it's a little weird.
To say the least.
Well, I don't want to piss off any Glock fans, so
I've always heard people hate the hinged trigger. I don't mind. I didn't mind it. Oh man, I got a garbage truck coming out. I'm not gonna be able to talk.
On which gun?
M&P.
M&P? Okay.
M&P has that hinged trigger.
can't feel
But
it.
huh?
You can't feel it.
No, yeah, it didn't bother me at all. Some people hate it though.
Okay. Why doesn't he just go rent both and make a decision on his own? 9mm ammo's cheap.
That is true, and I would probably do that anyway if you're considering carrying them or whatever.
Those are so common that they should be available for rent at any decent gun range that has rental. If
Right.
it was a more, I don't even want to use the term exotic, but that's the first thing that comes to mind, exotic type gun, then I'd say it might not be available for rent and you got to take your chances.
Right. So I like the Glock 17, but I kind of like the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. So
I mean, you can never go wrong with a Glock. Pretty much, it ain't gonna, unless you fuck it up somehow. It's always gonna go bang.
Remember, the 17 is the only Glock I like.
Yeah, M&P. I haven't had much experience with them reliability wise, but I mean, it was a good gun. The one that I shot was decent, and it went bang every time. So no malfunctions the whole range day, and we put at least a couple hundred rounds through it.
There you go.
But yeah, I would definitely agree with Squib though on shooting before you buy.
Solve the world's problems one question at a time.
You'll know right off the bat if you don't like the grip angle of the Glock.
Yeah, and
That's
the same thing with
correct.
that. Same thing with that trigger on the M&P. People either love them or hate them.
I can't fucking feel the damn trigger hinge.
Yeah.
Both my Smiths have it. It's just not something that I pay attention to.
Wait. Those SDs have a hinge? I thought they had the blade.
Nope. The hinge
Oh, they're
trigger,
hinge?
like every other Smith.
Oh. See, I thought they copied the trigger off a Glock. That must have been the earlier Sigmas then, huh?
My Sigma and this SD both have the hinge trigger.
Oh, okay. Maybe they upgrade. I don't know.
Neither of which option does what they claim it does. The blade or the hinge.
No. Wait. In what aspect?
Preventing you from accidentally pulling the trigger by snagging it on something.
Well, I mean, it sort of does. I'm like, I don't know. I can't speak on a Sigma, but the Glock, it has that little piece of plastic. Like, I guess if I wrenched on it hard enough without pulling that blade, I could break that plastic probably.
No, but if you snag on something, it's just got to push that blade just like your finger would.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like if you get a clump of fucking T-shirt in there or something like that, or jacket, yeah.
So because the plastic isn't as sharp and strong as steel, are we suggesting the Glock for Night Strike so he doesn't cut his hand open again?
Ha.
Well, the slide is still steel, so you gotta be careful.
I think I think that they can make a claim that it helps to make those guns drop safe. But beyond that,
yeah, because you actually have to pull the trigger for it to,
Go
because
off, yes.
the trigger actuates the firing pin or whatever.
If you got a Sigma, there's no way unless you modified that trigger that you could throw that fucker down hard enough to make it go off.
Yeah.
No way. Not.
Yeah, I told you guys the story. I told you guys the story when a while back when I was moving into the in-laws place. I'd fucking had my shoulder rig on, and one of the boxes had snagged the retention thing, and I fucking leaned down to go put a box back, and the motherfucker dropped, aimed right dead at my chest and shit, and like my whole life flashed before my eyes. Nothing happened though.
I can see your old lady in the background with that starting that fist pump saying, "Yeah." Oh shit.
Fuck. It didn't work. Nah, no one was around, dude. I would have bled out. I would have bled out.
Well, I can tell you right now, and I wasn't going to do this, but I will. I do not like the CCP. It is a fucking piece of shit, from what I can tell.
How come? Just malfunctions or just the way it runs?
Almost every fucking time that I've tried to use it, it would, if it had a round in the chamber and I loaded a full magazine, it would not cycle. And when you drop the magazine out, it would drop one round out of the magazine.
So it wouldn't take a full mag?
It does, but it drags the freaking shell out and doesn't run two of them into the chamber. It'll pull two shells at once for some stupid fucking reason.
Oh, you get it like a double feed?
Yes.
What the fuck? That's weird.
I don't know. I don't know how.
I've never heard of that problem with that gun.
That is weird.
I don't know how in the hell it can have a loose shell out of the magazine up in the magazine well with the slide closed.
Every magazine you got too, or?
I just got two, and yeah, as far as I know. I'm going to take it back out and use ball ammo in it and see if that helps it. It may just be something fucked up with the hollow points. And it may be that I'm using rather hot 9mm as far as the recoil problems I'm having, because that fucker doesn't mitigate recoil at all.
Oh, no, yeah, no. But the double feed thing is kind of weird to me because I've heard of motherfuckers running hot shit through them. Like, you should get this, man. And I don't know. I've just never been interested.
I don't know. I started to carry it until I took it to the range. I'm like, I ain't carrying this motherfucker.
Uh-oh. Clay is out there saying, Sigma, what is this, the 90s?
Whatever. Sometimes I wish, man.
I wish too. but then I remember 94, and I'm like, the 94 band, and I'm like, okay, maybe the early 90s. Before
I can tell you. Shut up. I'm trying to be a white knight for the Sigma. I can tell you that my Sigma has never failed me on its own. It's always, any time that it's done it, it's because I squib loaded the son of a bitch.
You leave Sigma alone. You don't know what she's been through.
Yeah.
The one I got's been a good fucking gun. I trust it with my life. Often.
All the Sigmas are out in the fucking comments right now asking if Tony can be their boyfriend and shit.
Come on over.
I'll take all the Sigmas I could have. Except for 40. I wouldn't let 40 in. Well, maybe just a half. But the Sigma, I've seen nothing but bad. Well, I've only seen one. So yeah, I've seen nothing but, I could say that honestly then. I've seen nothing but bad out of the 40 Smith & Wesson Sigma.
I've heard lots of bad. Converting their 9mm to a 40 from anybody is a bad idea, and that's what the Sigma was.
Well, their earlier ones, they did exactly what fucking Glock did. They just milled out their 9mm a little bit, widened the barrel, widened the chamber.
The Oracle has arrived.
Shawnery Ponery.
Shawnery Ponery. There we go.
Tell us how horrible early 40 Smith & Wessons were.
How horrible they were?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was only a 40 guy once.
Yeah. So what's up, man? What's new? Anything?
I don't know. Squib just announced me like fucking Shaun of the Dead, like the greater good.
No, that's Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you're all out
Nice
there,
question.
anybody's pissing with the Ruger Vaqueros, and you're thinking about doing that free spin cylinder thing, don't.
Nice Strike knows his movies.
Why not, Tone?
Because the gun is designed to line up with the frickin' loading gate when it's got that little anti-free spin thing in it. And it becomes a huge pain in the ass to try to load it when that cylinder goes where the fuck it wants to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Proof positive that sometimes YouTube is fucking wrong.
True.
But you have complete control. So, in that aspect.
You know, and I discovered this because I really didn't pay attention to the new Vaquero I just bought, but I was looking at these 1850 or 1875s and noticed that when they clicked, they lined right up to put the next round in the loading gate and loading them. Why the fuck didn't Ruger come up with that idea?
It's Ruger.
They did. I just took it out.
Oh, you shot the outlaw?
No. I don't know if I shoot them, I got to clean them.
So?
They're pretty right now.
I'll tell you a trick on keeping them clean so they wipe down easy. Use car wax. Get a nice sheen of car wax on there, wipe it off, and it'll have that like soft feeling to it, and that soot will just wipe right off.
Don't shoot them. Don't have to wipe them then.
What the fuck was the point of buying them then?
To have.
What was that movie? You don't put on a condom unless you're gonna fuck. I forgot what movie that was from.
Really? I've been doing it wrong the whole time then.
Yeah, I gotta find out now.
I don't put on a condom, period. Fuck it.
I put on my condom just like the rest of America, one ball at a time.
Oh, that was the Crimson Tide.
There's not any question of live or Memorex here.
There's this little thing. It's been around for a while. It's called the vasectomy.
I apologize for all the female listeners out there if we have any.
Ain't no motherfucker cutting my nuts.
Now we really apologize.
Now I'm still apologizing. So the expressed view of our panel are not the expressed view of the Early Watch, Night Strike, Hit or Miss, or any of the other public shows on gun channels.
The hell you say? Whatever I say is the express view of the Early Watch.
That's the fuck I mean. Damn it.
And honest to God, now here's where I come across this vasectomy thing. My brother-in-law had one, and I never seen a human being more miserable in his life than he was for 10 days after having one.
He's just a wuss.
No, just look at your dog after you take him in. It's the same.
Lifeless. Lifeless.
Do I need to ask my dog right now?
I'll tell you what. You look at the look on a cat's face when you're about to take them in for that, and they give you this look like, I'm going to shit in everything you own for the rest of your life.
Try it, motherfucker.
Telling you, man,
they don't call this thing Cat 45 for now. Oh, Colt, sorry.
Cat 45.
Meow. Standard.
I know it was a shitty joke, but it's the best I could come up with off the cuff.
That's pretty good.
Wasn't even planning to be here. I just wanted to mention the walkout thingy in Illinois that was so hugely popular that 9 people went.
I
don't even think we mentioned it. You wanted to mention it. We didn't even bring it up.
School? Is it the school thing?
Yeah, well, we had schools here not in session when the national one's going on, so they decided to do it this past weekend. 9 people showed up. They were expecting 200 to 500.
Huge.
Maybe because their parents said if you skip school.
They didn't have to skip school. They got a free ride to do it. But, well, they got 9. Hell, we only got 3 going to the freaking 2A thing. So they're ahead of us.
What 2A thing?
November 5th last year.
Oh, that, yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Or am I muted?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
No, we can hear you.
Okay, so just got this in from well, I don't know how long ago it was, but this is on the Instagrams from Early Watch, California. Clovis man denied a gun he paid for because of his age. Austin Richardson purchased his bolt action 22 rifle at Dick's on Henderson and Sunnyside in Clovis. He paid for the gun in full and the background check, which was passed. When he walked up to the firearm counter, he was told he couldn't have his new gun because he was only 20. During Austin's 10-day wait, Dick's changed its firearm sale policy. On February 28th, the company issued a statement saying it would no longer be selling guns to anyone under the age of 21. And then he's saying when you go through the paperwork, blah, 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 it's an agreement to buy and sell. I give you my money, you give me my gun. It's like buying a house. But he was given a full refund for the gun and the background check, but says it's money Dick's will never see again. And they asked me if I wanted to shop around before I got my refund, and I said, no, I'm not spending any more money here. And they said, I'll probably try to sue, and she said, good luck. And that's all. I think that's it.
Well, you know, people who work for big corporations like that are just like, hell, if their stance is, well, I can't buck, you know, the company. You know, you sure as hell aren't going to be able to do anything either. So,
no, Night Strike, the people that work there, even the ones that work the gun counter, don't give two shits about guns. They don't care if they're selling guns that day or footballs or baseball caps or golf clubs. They don't care. It's just a job.
Yeah,
they don't
I
make
agree
policy.
with that. They're just collecting a check.
That's why you should support your locals.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like, who was the one that was saying that got all these people to say, oh, well, if they're not going to sell AR-15s or they're not going to sell to anybody under 21, we'll stop going there. And then the next week there's a sale ad for real cheap 22 ammo, and they're all running down there to buy 22 ammo. So,
did you guys hear about the sale at fucking Bass Pro?
Well, I don't have a Bass Pro near me, so I'm good.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I was just saying them as an
Bass
example.
Pro is one that's still selling everything.
I got
they're-
a PSA. I don't need any of those other stores. I'm just saying.
Hey, yeah, Bass Pro's the only one I mentioned, but they are the ones that haven't folded yet.
Cabela's too. Cabela's is good too, but they're the same company now. And then didn't Matt say Academy? Academy hasn't changed their stuff either.
Well, they faltered once a while back, and it bit them in the ass.
Yeah, they learned.
Remember, Matt made it go fuck. They need to go fuck themselves video. Apparently, it worked.
Oh, today's 308. Is it? No, it's not. Yesterday was 308.
Today's my area code.
Yeah, but your area code ain't a gun.
Well, in this area, it's lots of guns.
Tony, nobody wants to call you anything.
They can call me all they want. I ain't gonna fucking answer it.
Nope, his phone is out fucking side.
No shit. And even if I hear one, I answer it. Fuck
You put the phone out in the rain?
Yep.
Oh, that's one way.
Okay.
I'm done. You guys got anything else?
I'm done
I've been
too.
saying that for the last 2 hours.
Everybody keeps coming up with something else.
Well,
I'm
guess
gonna
what?
just say I'm done. I'm
Things-
done.
Things just keep going.
Apparently, Chad just rode in on a horse. I got here and it's like, oh, I'm done.
See?
I don't know what your problem is, Jimmy. You're not the one hosting it today.
No, I don't give a fuck, but I'm leaving in a couple minutes, so whatever.
If you need to jump out, jump out. You know, we'll be here for a few more minutes, and then just.
No, I'm good.
Who's gonna do a Mulan Mabe?
Yeah.
Fucking weather is being a real bitch here. soon as I buy all these guns, it fucking goes back into the goddamn deep freeze.
Yeah, 30.
Anyway,
I mean, I paid premium money to become a full-on member of my club, so I can go over there and use indoor, outdoor, whatever. I don't have to pay for nothing now. But I ain't going because I ain't carrying all this shit until I go outside and use my chrono.
Yeah, well, I'm going to kill this at noon anyway, so.
Word. So yeah, real quick out of me, still running the whole early watch thing. So anyone that's interested, shoot me an email and become part of the team.
normal service.
And we'll probably be back. Hey, oh yeah, and are we coming back Monday? Night Strike? Because I'm not. Well, I mean, I will if you're running it.
I mean, yeah, if I need to, I will. Yeah.
All right.
We'll be back Monday if I have to host it. Yeah.
He already said in a public place that he would, so he's kind of committed.
Yeah, I am.
No, I know, but I wanted to politely, be polite and shit, whatever.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, we can go down the line if anybody has anything or whatever, last words or whatever the fuck. Got something funny or serious or whatever. Speak the peace.
Buying shit from Harbor Freight is a fucking mistake if you're in a hurry.
You buy from them if you want snail mail.
Yeah, I bought a steel cabinet and one of them 30 bin wall mount thingies a week ago. They just shipped it yesterday. And I don't know, they're probably shipping it by Sea Turtle, so I'll probably see it by June.
Why didn't you just go down to the Harbor Freight store?
Yeah.
Because that cost me money and time.
I just drive the 5 minutes to my local Harbor Freight.
Yeah. It's a
And
toss-up
the
for me. Do I go
Harbor-
5 minutes in that direction or 5 minutes in that direction?
The local Harbor Freight didn't have the cabinet I bought.
You're not talking about a gun cabinet.
No, it's just a locking 3-door metal cabinet.
Oh.
I didn't need it until I started into fucking 45 and 45-70, now 38 special. I gotta have room for all this shit to lock it away.
Finally doing real calibers.
Uh,
I remember less than a year ago, someone expressly told me that they weren't going to go multi-caliber, and yet here we are.
I
I'm proud
wasn't,
of you. I'm proud of you.
but they wouldn't make me one of these 1875s in 44 Magnum.
Nope.
To get one done custom was way more than it's worth.
Yep.
Believe me, I exhausted every avenue to get what I wanted, and I couldn't. There's no way I could afford it.
Cool.
It was going to be like $600 on top of the $500 the gun cost.
It ain't worth it.
No.
What are you messing with, Sean?
I'm building something.
Uh-oh.
Bob the Builder. Sean the Builder.
Sean the Builder.
And
Building
even
clock.
then, they wouldn't do 44 Magnum. They'd only build it in 44 Special.
I'm building a clock.
A clock?
For Jimmy?
Sean, just FYI, don't bring those clocks to school. We already know that doesn't work in Texas.
I heard it's easier to get a clock than it is a laptop or books.
Oh, shit.
You
All right,
get AR-15 and then either of those.
Quib, you got anything to enlighten us with before we get out of here?
No, I never really have anything good to add to any show.
Caliber corner
That
tomorrow
last
morning.
freaking discussion I had with the anti-gunners on Facebook, you wouldn't believe how many people honestly believe that you can have a gun mailed to you.
You can.
There's only one instance left in America where that happens, and I'm not going to say it on air how.
I know someone who did it. Totally legit.
I'll say it. Civilian marksmanship program. There you go.
That is the only way. The only way.
And if you're a CNR too.
No, my dude.
But you gotta get CNR shit.
CNR, you're federally licensed, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true.
We're talking about things where you have to do a lot of paperwork, you have to wait, you've got to pay fees, stuff may not be available. Yeah. We're not talking about something where Joe Blow gangster with a criminal record wants to get his stupid ass high point and have it sent to his box behind in the alley. You know.
Yeah, dropped off by a nondescript van. That don't have to know.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get my CNR this year.
It's cheap enough.
All the guns that I love are 50 years old or more. That would be great to be able to buy guns and not even have to leave my house.
Shit, yeah. And I mean, somebody was telling me the other day, what, 30, 40 bucks, something like that? Fucking A, I don't think I could turn it down. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is the cost of the transfer fee. Otherwise, I don't mind going down to the store. I mean, if you guys all have reasonable fees in your area, I don't. So, yeah. And that's reasonable.
Mine's gone up. I have to pay $35 a transfer now.
Yeah, that's what I have to pay here at my local, and
I pay it. I mean, it's better than having to deal with any of the other places in the area.
Well,
see for us, the lowest is 25, but they're all like competing for prices and shit.
Now,
the highest is 25.
The point I need to make here is, though, mine can get a gun faster than I can get it. Because I ordered all the guns they didn't have on a Tuesday, and they were here on Thursday. And I picked them up Friday.
Nice.
And that's even including that Marlin 1895 that he said he was supposed to get and didn't think he was going to because he hadn't got one in a year. And yep, it was there.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I wanted most of all.
All right, so down the line, Jimmy, final words.
Bye. Take 20 minutes wrapping up.
Sean, final words.
Caliber Corner tomorrow morning before I even get up.
Squib.
Yeah, Caliber Corner. Wake up, Sean.
Tony.
Early watch next week can resume some sort of normalcy. Well, and Rick, Life as I See It, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central, so it's 3 p.m. Eastern.
All right.
Sometime in the middle of fucking day when I usually don't remember to go on because I try to help him out and I just forget.
Oops.
Hit or miss Tuesday nights 9 o'clock. Friday night strike 8 p.m. Eastern, and apparently early watch now for a while.
Because you're running the early watch, we will not charge you the customary $15 mention fee
until you go to use it like I do.
And for those of that are going to Tulsa, I'll see you in Tulsa.
That's awesome.
Yeah, buddy, me too.
So now we just got to figure out how to get Jimmy to Tulsa.
I got to figure out how I'm going to get my ass to Tulsa.
What happened here? One of your cars dying again?
No, I got hit with a $1,500 surprise bill.
All right, well, that's it. That's it for the early watch this morning. We'll see you, I guess, Monday morning.
Good day, everybody.
Bye, Felicia.
Later.
Jimmy, you want to give us some outro music?
Yeah, motherfucker. I don't got shit. I got one phone.
There we go.
Pretty good there on your own.